So here what I have is an aspect of the Kabbalistic system called the Sefirot. Sefirot has several different possible translations, but really what I'm talking about here today is just one angle of the Sefirot, which there are many. The Sefirot are somewhat similar to the chakra system in that the chakra system is somewhat of a spiritual way of looking at the energy systems of the body. In the chakra system, there's 7. In the Sefirot, there's 10. But whereas the chakra system is a little bit more one-to-one, meaning it's directly related to the physical body, for example, the legs, the abdomen, the heart, the throat, the head, etc. The Sefirot are a little different. And this is going to be a multi-part series. Probably going to do several videos on this. And I'm probably going to circle back to this many times. Because as we get into it, you'll see this is actually a part of my practice as well, to continually contemplate and continually try to understand at deeper and deeper levels, as well as width, not just depth, but width, and as many different angles as I can, as many different layers as I can uncover or reveal. Kabbalah itself, one of the translations is to receive, but also to reveal, to uncover. And right now what I'm talking about is a bridge in understanding, in theory. You can see here down at the bottom I wrote ordinary life. On the right side I wrote action, contemplation on the left, theory on the left, practice on the right, and student. So in our life, both on the macro and on the micro, we work through these levels. It's not like a simple, we're in elementary school, then middle school, then high school, and we never go back previously. These stages are occurring every moment, every second, all the time. And they go through full and complete stages every single moment, but also we are continually revisiting these stages throughout our life. We're never done and never attain this higher level where we never go back. All are integrated. But throughout our life, we do need somewhat of a framework in how to develop a path to receiving light, to grow as a person, to transform, to change. And so for me, I've been talking a lot about truth and what truth means. And to me, truth is emotions, actions, behavior, simply being aligned towards what our vision, goal, or dream is. So for example, if you have a short-term goal or vision that's 3 months away, per se, the actions, the truth of what is going to get you to that 3-month goal is going to be different than if your goal is more spiritual, for instance. And for me, at this point in time, my goal is certainly more spiritual. What is of ultimate concern to me is having all of my actions, my financial actions, my career actions, the things I'm working on, all of those things building up towards a bigger spiritual goal. But that sounds, how do we do that? So that's what this system and just this one angle that I'm talking about can begin to help us with. So in the beginning of our lives, in the beginning of all stages, things are down at ordinary life. And so there's a word in Hebrew, malchut, which means, or is translated in English to kingdom. That deals with the beginning of our life. It deals with learning language, learning to walk, learning to run, learning to eat, the development of the ego as a child. And then earlier on in our life, or just in general, we also need to start with the body. The physical body is our vessel, is how we move through the world. And without a strong vessel, without a way of developing the body, we can't truly move up to higher stages. Now, many people do it, and many people do attain certain higher stages, but my feeling is that when I meet those people, if they haven't truly addressed those bottom stages, which a lot has to do with the physical body, a lot has to do with learning, really learning how to be a student, which I put here, really learning how to both contemplate and take action, how to develop theory, how to work through theory, and then also practice that theory, and going back and forth between theory and practice, between contemplation and action. And to me, I also want to be a continual student. At all times, I want to be a continual student, and we all are. We're all at all times both students and teachers. But we need a framework for how to deal with that. So the Sefirot shows us, in the beginning, we have to work on those lower stages. How do we eat? How do we articulate ourselves? How do we deal with our body? And do we have some sort of a framework for learning, for being a student? Do we have a path that we want to be a student in? And are we integrating all the things necessary to be a student? And specifically, in developing the physical body, we need to learn how to do that, or else our brain will not work well, we will not sleep well, we will not be grounded, we will not be integrated. Without a direct relationship with the body, we won't have a healthy relationship with food, we won't have the capability to do certain things, to handle certain stressors. Really, what learning to deal with the physical body is about is learning how to balance stress and adaptation. Stress and adaptation. You could even say that action is akin to stress, action and practice is akin to stress, and contemplation and theory is akin to adaptation. And so, do we have a relationship and know how to balance contemplation and action, or thinking and applying, developing and applying, philosophy and action, and stress and adaptation? Do we have a system for that? Do we know how to do that? And without really working that all through at the beginning stages, we can't move up to higher stages. So this video series, I'm going to do relatively short work-throughs of this, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to keep adding to this board all the way up to the top. And these videos will be short, and they will be a more lighter run through for myself, for my own practice, for my own development. And later on, I'm going to revisit this starting all the way back at the beginning, going down and down and down to deeper and deeper layers.